Hey guys, it's Krystal Lucier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore. This is Realtor Life, and I am so excited that you're here. Today we have a very special guest. Welcome, Spencer. Hi.
Hi, Crystal Lee. Hi, everybody.
I'm very, very excited to have Spencer on today. Spencer is the president of the Art of Living Foundation, and we're going to learn more about what that is and all how exciting it is. And what we're going to do is just dive right in and say, Spencer, so what is the Art of Living Foundation?
Right. So maybe you noticed that when we were born, we weren't born with an instruction manual, and this life, that's right. And this life has been, of course, we've gained so much from our experiences, but really the education in managing your own mind and emotions is something that, neither at home nor at school do we really learn these things. So Art of Living is the school for that.
Nice.
And we're active in more than 180 countries around the world. And we have about 40,000 plus teachers that teach the programs. And
Wow.
if you count, yeah, if you count events that we've done and also the courses that we've taught, we've reached over 800 million people. So we're,
Congratulations. That's
thank
amazing.
you. Yeah, we're adding our little drop in the bucket of adding value. And yeah, the organization is founded by a yogi, a master of yoga from India. His name's
Wow.
Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar. And of course, it's a secular organization. You come to our organization, you're going to see a diversity of, people that are religious, people that are not religious, people that are, from all kinds of different countries. And the way we think about it is that, all the wisdom of the world is yours.
Yeah.
And no matter where it comes from, whether it comes from Canada or whether it comes from India or whether it comes from Japan or Australia, that wisdom, if it's valuable for you in your own life, that belongs to you. So, in the same way, our techniques of meditation and breath work, they come from India, but there's things that can be valuable in our everyday lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so how does that work? So if someone is interested, because I know like it's obviously a program involved. So if someone
Right.
is interested, they come to you. What does that process look like?
Sure. Well, we actually have many realtors that come and take our
Interesting.
programs. Yes,
Interesting.
that's right. I mean, you're the expert there, and I know many of your viewers are realtors.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think I read a statistic somewhere that realtors have a lower life expectancy because of the type of stress that they go through.
You know what? It's very true, and we actually talk a lot about that on this show about the importance of balance and making sure you don't burn out
Wow.
and boundaries and all these things that as a new entrepreneur you don't really understand until that first time that you either hopefully don't get burned out but almost get burned out
Yeah.
and you realize like this isn't what life is.
Yeah, it's such a good point you make, Crystal Lee, and it's really great that, so many realtors have this resource of your channel and seems like a
That's
lot of
cool.
fun.
But yeah, so people come to you, maybe they're stressed, maybe they're looking for more. And then is it a course that you attend something? Is
It
it
is.
how does it work?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So we have a few different introductory level courses, but the main introductory level course is called Art of Living Part One.
Okay,
So it's
easy to
pretty easy
remember.
to remember. Yeah. And that's the thing, we give people a little more knowledge about, who they are in a sense. We all know that we have a body. But there are several layers to our existence. The body is the first one we talk about. Then we talk about the breath. We all have our breath. Without our breath, where would we be?
Yes. Yep. Nowhere.
Too far, yeah. Yeah. And then the third one is the mind. So, our mind is racing, but when's the last time we even realized, oh, wow, my mind is racing or I'm caught up in a certain emotion? Usually we feel a certain emotion and we just react to it
Yes.
because so many things are going on. So having a calm, clear mind is very helpful to make good decisions and just be happy. And the breath can be a very interesting tool there. So body, breath, mind, and then we have the intellect, which is the fourth layer of ourself, so to speak, which is the aspect of ourself. If you think of the mind as a projector screen,
Okay.
taking in everything from the senses into our brain, into our nervous
Yeah.
system, then the intellect would be that analyzing device within ourselves that looks at something, that judges it. Maybe even now your listeners are listening to us and thinking, okay, I agree with that. Okay, no, that's new to me. Oh, let me
Yeah.
listen more, or I don't agree. That's
Absolutely.
that's the intellect. So body, breath, mind, intellect, and the memory. And the memory, of course, we all know. Usually, if we're stressed out and overwhelmed, we remember the things we'd like to forget, and we forget the things that we'd like to remember. So
Absolutely.
with,
Absolutely.
with these techniques that we teach, we can kind of flip that script and start to have a very sharp memory. Then after the memory of the ego, that sense of self, and I know for me, for many years, I just thought that, okay, I'm an angry person. I'm a perfectionist, so I want things to
Okay.
go perfectly. So when they don't, either I get angry at myself or I get angry at someone else. And, being so much in that emotion, I just kind of thought I was an angry person. But through practicing these techniques, I've been able to observe my own emotions more and say, okay, hey, this is a fleeting state.
Yes.
This is not who I am. And with that peace and calm, being able to dive more into the essence of who I am, that peace, that joy, that love, that creativity and intuition. And then the last layer, so to speak, is the self, or, some people will say the soul or consciousness or what have
Yeah.
you, that essence of who we are that we just spoke about. So we start to give that's, one aspect of, educating people about themselves so that they can differentiate these things and have more awareness about what, when they're going through their life. And then we teach very concrete mind body techniques,
Okay.
principally with the breath. So we can go into that as well, but the breath is very powerful tool for being able to handle something that is intangible. Like your mind is intangible. Like if you want to go to sleep and you lie in your bed, can you close your eyes and force yourself to go to sleep?
No, I've tried.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So that's it. We have that experience. Can you convince yourself to go to sleep? I'm in the, top 7% of realtors in Ontario. I should be able to go to sleep. Well,
Your mind
doesn't
has
work.
other plans. Yes.
Your
Okay.
mind has other plans. That's it. So being able to use these techniques, we're able to kind of calm and soothe the mind so that whatever the emotions come and go through us, we're able to have that calm, centered state with a lot of energy. I think one of the main things our people come to the workshops for is they feel exhausted.
Yes.
They feel like they're
Yeah.
burning the candle at both ends, and they go to the gym, they just don't know what else to do. And these techniques, they bring a tremendous amount of energy. So then there's other techniques for calming the system as well. So then, yeah, we do some preparatory techniques. We teach the main technique, which is Sudarshan Kriya. It's a rhythmic breathing technique, brings the system into alignment. And then we do some meditation. And then you have your own personal practice. So there's about 100 plus research studies demonstrating the benefits of Sudarshan Kriya to the mental state, the emotional, the physical body, our biochemistry, our DNA, even. And all these benefits are yours by in two ways. You have a home practice. You can practice on your own regularly, once a day, we recommend, or whenever you want. And then we also teach techniques that you can use in the moment. So if you're in a triggering situation,
Right.
perhaps you're, putting forward an offer
Right.
and your client is going nuts. And inside, you're also super filled with anxiety. I mean, maybe this sounds familiar. I've many realtor friends, and being able to have a tool you can use in that moment to
Right.
center yourself, so that instead of reacting, you can respond. You can get a little more, clear on your not only your intellect, but also that intuitive aspect of your decision making,
Yes.
that gut feeling, so to speak. So then you have your home practice, and then we have once a week, we have these get togethers where we all get together, we practice the techniques together. a really great community of people that want to uplift themselves, and
Yeah.
everybody there, realtors, doctors, lawyers, homemakers, like everybody's there.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way once a week to kind of reset. We do a longer version of the practice, and yeah, within 45 minutes to an hour, you're in and out, and it's a nice way to add some rejuvenation time in your week.
This sounds amazing, like absolutely amazing. And so I'm assuming that these sessions would be virtual because it sounds like you would have like kind of people from all over.
Yeah, you know what? You're exactly right. We do both. So we do in-person sessions.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And we do online. So I would say for your first experience, I would go for in-person
Okay.
because it's nice to have that connection, that only in person can provide. Of course, we're having this great conversation here now.
It's technology is wonderful, but I think if it's something like this in COVID, I'm sure you know this already, but in COVID we had to be 6 feet apart, and then the research came out saying that like you actually feel each other's energies within 6 feet. So,
Right. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. And and it's also interesting too, because like, having that synchronous effect of being together and practicing these techniques
yeah,
together, it makes a big difference. So yeah, as a first course, we recommend it, but you can even do it online as well. It's about the same time. It's 3 hours per day. If you're online, it's 2.5 hours per day for 3 consecutive days. And then you've got the technique. You can practice it whenever you want, however you want. Incredible benefits in terms of lowering your serum cortisol, so your baseline stress level, lowering lactate, which is associated with stress as well, and it being a manageable space, so you're still getting the premium focus and alertness, but you're not burning out inside. And that's really a first step. I mean, we have other courses after that, like Sahaj Samadhi meditation, which is kind of like the complement to this one. Like Sudarshan Kriya eliminates a lot of little traumas and negative impressions and toxins that have been stored in our system. I don't know if you remember, I might be dating myself here, but you remember back in the day when you used to develop your film?
yes.
You remember? Okay, good. Not too many people do.
Yes, no, it was always rolling the dice on a photo because you only had 24 of them, 36 if you splurged. And sometimes you got like those photos back and you're like, my finger's in the way. This
Yeah,
person's
yeah,
not.
yeah, exactly. Do you remember this thing called double exposure?
Yes, yes, where all of a sudden you would basically have two people because you would reuse a film by accident.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Or yeah, that's exactly it. And it was like two images that were on top of each other. So if I took
Yes.
a picture of my sister and then I also take a picture of a bird, like the bird is like, on her face or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So our minds are very similar to that actually.
Okay.
Over, over the course of our lifetime, we've had many experiences, and some of them, they stay with us and they inform our present.
Yeah.
So all this stress and tension, especially as the very emotional situations, it's not double exposure, it's like multiple exposure. And if you think about it, it's almost like every one of those experiences is like you're wearing a pair of colored glasses. And every one of those experiences layered on top of each other, it becomes difficult to see things as they are.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what effectively Sudarshan Kriya does is it takes off those colored glasses from the past. So the memory remains, but that emotional, reactionary tendency and that thing that's bringing you down and the negativity, you're free from that. You're not
No longer,
chained to that.
no longer distorting the reality.
Exactly. You can
Okay.
see
Yeah.
things. Yeah, it is exactly it. You can see things as they are. So that's one of the things I noticed so much when I did the course is, I mean, I come from a different profession. Like I was in biology and chemistry and biochemistry, working
Oh,
in a
wow.
lab.
Okay.
And what I noticed was three things. My perception improved of my environment. So being able to see, observe opportunities that I didn't see before and be able to be aware of them. That was a huge difference for me and the research and even in
Wow.
the lab, I was publishing papers. And then the second biggest one I would say is observation of myself.
Okay.
So being able to observe, anger coming up in me or anxiety coming up in me, I'm getting anxious. Instead of just panicking and pushing, trying to push this anxiety away,
Yeah.
like the law of the mind says, whatever you resist persists. The more you push on the anxiety out, what happens?
It just gets bigger. Yep.
Exactly. It just keeps getting bigger. So instead of staying on that merry-go-round, I was able to step outside of it, be able to fully, okay, just fully be with that anxiety. And what I noticed was after practicing the techniques, I still am a human being, so I get anxiety from time to time,
Yeah.
but the intensity is much lighter, much
Okay.
lower. And the
Okay.
frequency, which with these storms of emotions with which they come, is much less. So it's such a practical thing that only takes a few minutes a day, and that's our mission. We want to create a stress-free, violence-free at the world, at the art
Yes.
of living. So we got our work cut out for us, and yeah, this is one way, at least that we do it, to help people cultivate that peace within, so they can share that with others too.
That's a beautiful way to change the world. That's really cool. It's very humbling for me to get to have really great conversations and to hear how different people are going about affecting change in different ways. Because that's the thing, right? If we're all doing the same thing, I mean, first of all, it's not quite working yet, but it's also it's nice to see how creativity is actually making things happen. So this is
True.
amazing. And I love the goal. So stress-free, violence-free.
That's right. For us,
Okay.
stress-free, violence-free world, and every 5 years we hold a gathering. It's called the World Culture Festival.
Okay. Yes, please share because this is happening, you said next year.
Yeah, that's it. So we're coming up on 2027, fall of 2027. And the first one we did was in Bangalore. The second one we did was we had 2.5 million people in Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's incredible. Then we had one in Berlin at the Olympic Stadium, actually, where Hitler was like launching his whole campaigns in Berlin. And
You just
we
changed that narrative. Okay, good.
completely, exactly what you said, completely changed that narrative. And
Okay.
we have this festival about celebrating diversity,
Yes.
celebrating life. And it was crazy. In August, it rained. It was like 10 degrees outside, and people were celebrating each other, and it was an incredible experience. Then we had one in Delhi in 2016 on the banks of the Yamuna in India.
Okay.
That one was our biggest one so far. That one we had 3.75 million people attend.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So, a little backyard party.
Just a few people, just like multiple entire cities in
There you
Canada.
go, exactly. And then the latest one we had was in DC in Washington.
Okay.
We had it on the National Mall.
Yep.
The places where the presidents get confirmed, I guess. And yeah, we had over 1 million people
Forrest
come.
Gump scene.
What's that? Oh,
Big
that's right.
is that
I think that's connected. It's like the mall kind of runs like that. And then I think the one from Forrest Gump, I think he's at the Lincoln Memorial, which is just
okay.
perpendicular. It's in the
Yeah.
same area.
Okay. Nice.
I think so. And actually we did a big yoga festival there just before
Cool.
the
Okay.
it's amazing with those pools that he's like I think running across in the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, and we had like 85 food trucks with food from around the world, and yeah, the whole message is really, we may look different, we may eat different food, we may worship different, but we're a one world family, and let's
Yeah.
celebrate the diversity rather than having it, pull us apart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so next year we're gonna have it in Canada. Canada got selected.
Yay. And it's
Yeah, that's it.
in
It's gonna take place in Toronto.
okay. I wanted to make sure that that's public. Good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And we'd love to have you and your family and your listeners.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It sounds really cool. And it takes place, is it always in August?
This one we're gonna see. I mean, it's likely fall, so
Okay.
probably September.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did fall. Okay.
It'd probably be in September, like early fall. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really something. We had, I think, one of the largest meditations ever in North America, the last one we did in Washington.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a beautiful way where you can taste food from around the world, see, cultural dance and song and spoken word. We had like Curtis Mayfield, a legend in hip hop, lead this like troupe of like 100 hip hoppers doing break dance and rap.
What?
And it was wild. It was totally wild. And we had Ziggy Marley, Bob Marley's
Yeah,
grandson performing.
that's really cool.
And it was so cool, I mean, having like, people from Israel following people that were, from Palestine
Yes.
and having them cheering each other on and just to see people come together is so heartwarming and yeah, I mean with all the division today, we do it so we can have a moment to say, hey, like we may have our differences, but let's celebrate those instead of letting them divide us.
People are people. Yeah, that is spectacular. So I just want to dig into this. Is this something I know you alluded to your background in the sciences, but
Yep.
how did this all come about? Like, did you always want to affect change? Was there something inside of you? Like, how did you encounter this entire way of life?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I think from a young age, I have been a person that's always been very curious,
Yep.
you
Curiosity.
know, and I think that even as a young kid, I remember wanting to just, instead of just playing with my toys, I would want to break them open, right? And see how they worked.
Yes. Okay.
And much to the often chagrin of my parents who spent their hard-earned money on these things. But I just had that curious mind and I just had to know. I really wanted to know how things work. And I think I got to a point in my life where I didn't feel there was any juice left in my life anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I was working in biochemistry. I was, doing interesting work. I was, kind of starting my career, moving up the ladder, so to speak, close to my family and friends. But for some reason, I just lost the joy in a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I started to ask bigger questions about my life, and to be honest, I really went to, kind of a dark place there because I wasn't able to find those answers and got really depressed and a lot of anxiety. And the typical ways that you're supposed to be able to manage this, they just didn't work for me. So I decided actually to go back to school. I knew that wasn't the answer, but I knew I had to do something.
Yeah.
So I was in Toronto and I went back to school. I'm from Montreal originally.
Oh, nice. I was born in
Yeah.
Montreal. Very
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, me too. So, so I went back there, and it's there when I went back to school that I saw a poster from the Art of Living
Okay.
for a meditation session, and I did that and did a meditation with Guru Dev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, the founder, on a CD. CD at the time, it was 2003.
Love it.
Yeah, that's it. We're going back to the analog. And wow, I was just like blown away. Like I had not felt that kind of peace in a long time. And I don't know, I think it's similar for a lot of us. If you're blessed with a very active, very creative mind, it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because, in one way, you're very driven and you're striving for perfection and you're constantly going for it, which actually is a wonderful quality. And I feel so grateful because it brought me so much in my life. The flip side of that is that can turn on yourself too,
Yeah.
judging yourself and being so hard on yourself. And I was like a textbook, case of that. And the beautiful thing is that when I took this course, Art of Living Part One course, I started practicing the Sudarshan Kriya. It's a Sanskrit word. Su means proper.
Okay.
Uh, Darshan means vision. And Kriya is a purifying action. So through this practice of breathing, you can purify all those levels of existence we talked about so that you can experience and live more from that essence of who you are, that peace, that love, that
Yes.
joy, that
Okay.
enthusiasm. And it wasn't just some talking point that the teacher told me. It became my own experience. So after having that kind of experience, I eventually became a teacher. And so I was working at McGill. So I'd be working, during the day in the lab, mixing test tubes together, trying not to burn the place down. And then in the evenings and on the weekends, I would teach the courses. And then every now and then the founder will come to Canada. We call him Guru Dev. And actually that word Guru Dev, Guru, it means teacher.
I was going to say, is it Guru Dev? And you're just saying it properly. And
That's right, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, it comes from Sanskrit. Guru means teacher. Your first teacher is who?
your
Your
parents, probably.
That's exactly it. Your
Yeah.
first teacher is your parents. So they call that like the first guru in your life. And then, I mean, it's used much more frequently. I mean, we also use it here in North America. We say the guru of marketing or the
Yeah.
guru of finance or guru
Yeah.
of whatever. But it means teacher, and it means to bring from ignorance to knowledge. That's the full definition. And dev means playfulness. So sometimes you meet
Hey.
someone and they may have a lot of wisdom, but
Yeah.
they're like a styrofoam, like very dry. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, I can't bear to be around this person, even though they know so much.
Yes.
But then the other side is sometimes people are very playful and fun,
Yes.
but they lack a little bit of depth.
Of substance. Yes.
That's it. So, that kind of Guru Dev is that mix of both wisdom and depth. And it was a term that's given to him as a name. So he offered me and he said, "Oh, would you like to try doing this full time? It seems like you really like the teaching." And it's interesting. I always thought that, okay, I'll do it when I retire kind of thing.
Yeah.
I had just loved it so much sharing these techniques with people that I tried it for a week.
Yeah.
And that week was like 17 years ago.
So you liked it.
So yeah, you could say that,
Yeah.
Crystal. I liked it, and it's such a passion for me. And so yeah, I left my career in biology, chemistry, and biochemistry, and to do this work, and it's been incredible. I feel fortunate, became the president of the organization. We have an incredible executive team that I work with. Our board is amazing, and just an incredible wealth of teachers and volunteers right across Canada that are they themselves doing so much really amazing work. We work with the police, with our sister organization, International Association for Human Values. We work with veterans. We teach these programs for kids.
Nice. That's
Um,
important.
yeah, that's it. Imagine if we would have learned techniques like this as kids, like how much of this garbage we would have avoided going through. I mean, I feel so grateful and yeah, so we teach to kids, adolescents, and even universities. We teach in universities too. So across all different dimensions, we teach in corporates. We have an organization called the TLEX Institute, and in governments, in prisons as well. And then, of course, in
That's a
prisons, yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, a lot of the time, we look at the prisoners and it's more of a punishment than a rehabilitation. So we feel grateful as well that there are many prisons here in Canada and many abroad that have moved to a form of rehabilitation and, looking at how, okay, well, these prisoners are going to leave the prison at some point. How do we rehabilitate? And I remember I was doing a follow-up for one of the prison courses one time, and just to meet, these people, obviously, many terrible things that were done, but many of them share so sincerely that, this one thing I reacted without having control over my emotions, and I have to pay for it for, tens of years of my life. And sure, yeah, you need to, be able to reap what you sow, but in the same way, giving them the opportunity to better themselves is something that we offer too.
Absolutely. And I think, and I'm very passionate on that topic as well, because so my education was in law
Really?
before I moved to real estate. Yeah. And so the whole the whole concept of recidivism where we're trying to reduce how easy it is to reoffend, or hopefully not to reoffend on purpose, just so that you can go back to a place where you're comfortable. So if there's a way to help people get comfortable with the outside before they go back outside, then maybe there's a chance that they really can like they've paid their debt. It's paid.
Right.
We all decided that that's what, like, right? Like we all agreed to it. It's a constant, like it's a democracy, constitution. They paid their debt. It's done. But I find that's a really tough thing for people because then they go out and the problems that got them in haven't been solved.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. You said it so well. And that's true for most of us.
Yeah.
Neither at home nor at school have we learned how to manage our mind and emotions. And I think in some cases, we can feel like we're just hanging on, actually. I think especially in your profession, you don't know what's going to happen in 4 months, whether the clients will be there or not. And that's a lot of uncertainty to deal with, especially like, sure, we can exercise, some people go out to the bar and, all that kind of thing, or, however you self-manage, but some are, more, I would say, kind of healthy coping mechanisms and others are less, in moderation, I guess, and everything. But these techniques, I mean, that's the beauty of it. Just a few minutes a day, and it just resets your whole nervous system. And no matter whether you're coping well or you need some help, they can make a big difference because they also tune in, like I was saying before, into this kind of gut feeling.
Right.
Sometimes I have friends that are realtors and they think, oh man, I don't know if it was such a good idea to take on that client. I had a kind of a bad feeling that I shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Uh, or the other way around, like, oh wow, I wish I would have really put more work into that because that would have been a great client just from my gut feeling. And we actually have a whole course for kids in terms of developing that intuition,
Right.
nurturing it. It's called the intuition process.
Okay.
And so really, I think we've all had that experience, right? Like you think of a friend and then they call you or they text you.
Yes. Yeah, and oftentimes, like, and this happens a lot with women. I can't speak to men, but that gut feeling you have, and with realtors, we talk about safety. So oftentimes we will, you almost hear it like clockwork. If someone has a story about something that happened to them, they're like, well, I had this feeling, and then I thought, oh no, you're just being silly, and I shook it off.
Right.
And then this terrible thing happened, right? Trust yourself. Your body is trying to keep you safe. So if you feel something, you know what? Maybe you just take a sec. Maybe you don't go into that house with a stranger. Maybe you,
That's
right?
right.
Call someone, tell them where you are. Like
Um,
there's a lot of things, and I think it's getting better now with more awareness. But I do feel like there was a time when being silly was worse than not being safe. And now I think being safe
wow.
is above, which is good. But
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, Crystal Lee. I think a lot of people would identify with that, like you were saying, and I think that's the beauty of it is that with practicing these techniques we offer in the adult course, it nurtures that aspect
yes,
and makes it stronger. And that's the thing, right? Like when you have to make a decision, you get to a point where, okay, you've done all your research, you've taken all the variables into account, and then you kind of have to jump, and not all the variables will be so clear to you. And so just as you rightly said, being able to have that sixth sense, that gut feeling and trust it is so important, particularly if you're a woman, maybe you're showing a home alone, like that's such a great point in terms of safety. It's so important. And this aspect becomes stronger with these programs and these techniques. And we actually we have beautiful women's conference every year.
really. Where is
Yeah.
that? And when is that?
So yeah, we hold it all over the world. So we have it in the US. We haven't done one here yet, but we're due. So keep your eyes open for that one. We haven't done one just as yet. In the US, in Washington, we did one in LA. We've done it in Bali.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then our international center, we have one in India, in Bangalore, India. So we regularly do them there, and in Bali, they kind of switch back and forth, and it's really beautiful, honoring women and honoring the skills of these women from around the world, all
Yes.
different countries and different domains, and having a point of being able to meet and celebrate each other.
Yes. Yeah. I love that very, very much. I know we could probably talk about this for like 7 more hours,
Right.
but I want to kind of keep us on track.
Yeah.
So where are your in-person courses if someone
Right.
wants to go? 'Cause I know I appreciate what you said, like doing it, you can do online, but in person might be better.
Yeah.
Where do they happen?
Right. So we have courses happening throughout the country. So all across Canada, all across the United States, and I mean, really in all the 180 countries that we work, you can find a course. So you just need to go to artofliving.org.
Okay.
So you go to artofliving.org. You can tap your postal code in there, and then you can see all the courses that are in your area. There you go. So we have courses that that are happening in pretty much every province. I know we have an active chapter in London with a number of
Okay.
teachers there. You know, very active chapters in Toronto, Montreal, of course, in the U.S., New York, Los Angeles. You know, all throughout Texas, the East Coast, the Midwest. We've got courses all around the country, and yeah, we also do events as well. So sometimes we'll have like an introductory session.
Okay.
Those events will be posted on the website too, if you want to kind of dip your toes in, so to speak,
Yeah,
and
to
get
see
an
what it's like.
idea. There you go. And yeah, that's it, you know, and we have you know, instructors from all around the world. So you know, everyone has their own flavor,
Yeah.
so to speak, in terms of how they share the techniques. Like we have our manual and our protocol, but you have your own flavor in terms of how you deliver it.
Yeah.
And but I would say the main thing is to learn the techniques and to be able to practice them for yourself. And yeah, sure, you might say, oh man, where am I going to find 3 consecutive days, 3 hours a day to commit to this?
That's funny. You were reading my mind.
Okay, yeah.
In the minds of every other realtor in this market right now.
There you go. So, but I would say, you know, it's an investment
Yes.
and you're going to have this for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And we have some incredible research that's on it. I'm just remembering one research that was actually done with veterans.
Okay.
Veterans have an incredible amount of stress and PTSD. And in that research project, which that research project was actually done at with the London Health Sciences Center at St. Joe's in
Cool.
London.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry, there was veterans research. That research I'm talking about is actually in Stanford, but there was one done in London,
Very cool.
different subject matter. But anyhow, the results were that, yeah, the results were that they had incredible reductions, statistically significant reductions in their levels of stress, their levels of post-traumatic stress. And those reductions continued for 3, 6, and 12 months that they followed the participants, whether or not they did the home practice or not.
Really? Okay.
So just
Just
Well, yeah, exactly. Just attending that course and doing the technique, it
yeah.
had an effect. Of course, for the maximum benefit,
Keep
we
going.
rec
Yeah.
we recommend making it a part of your life.
Right.
But the problem is that we're constantly wasting time.
Yes.
You know, and why? Yeah, there you go. Exactly. And why is that? You know, we're looking for relief, or very simply, our mind is not in the present moment.
Yes.
We're doing like you have so much of a demand on yourself. You have this incredible career, you have your family, you have all these other demands on yourself, and you're being pulled in all these different directions. Now, you're doing something, but then you're thinking of something else, right? And this is the case for so many of us. So something that should take me like 1 hour is now taking me 3 hours because my mind is not present.
Yeah.
But when we start practicing these techniques and you're more present, these things that usually used to take you 3 hours is taking you 1 hour. Something that should take you, you know, was taking you, you know, 2 or 3 days, it's only taking you 1 day or half a day. So, you know, everyone says, oh, I'd love more hours in the day.
This sounds like a way to get that.
This exactly.
Yes.
That is the gift that comes with the investment. So you invest, you know, you invest your money and your time to be on the course, and then
Right.
you've got the skills for the rest of your life. And I'm telling you, like the level of just Of course, being in the moment, being more productive,
Yes.
all these things will come, better memory, lower stress, but just the joy in your life of being able to move through challenging moments with confidence and centeredness. There's nothing like it.
Amazing. Amazing. This sounds really good. And I think when we're talking about, especially with realtors, I think I like to use the word investment because there are
Mm,
a lot of demands on our time
yeah.
and our resources. But it also is important that if something's going to make your life better, it's okay to take that step forward. And we won't get into your pricing. People can look at is it listed on your website?
It is, yeah, artofliving.org, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so moving on to the next thing I just wanted to ask you about. You had mentioned at the beginning before we press record about your retreat space. And I was
Right.
wondering if you could tell me more about that because it sounds really cool. And I'm wondering, like, are there retreats that happen there? Is it available? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, that's a great question, Crystal Lee. So we have a beautiful oasis of a retreat center 2 hours outside of Montreal. It's in a small town called Saint-Mathieu-du-Parc. Don't worry, we have it's not just French speaking staff. Everyone's bilingual there. Most people at
Have
least speak
to.
English. Yeah, there you go. So it's an incredible place. Like there has been Man, right? We're on our 30th anniversary of the center. So 30
Wow.
years of this beautiful breathing techniques and yoga and meditation and so many joyful get-togethers. And then 350 acres of rolling hills. We have 5 lakes on the property. Come bring the family. We've got stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, canoes, however you like. You want to go swimming. We've got beautiful hikes around the property. There's a national park just next door too with incredible
Wow.
waterfalls.
Okay.
Such a beautiful place. And not only that, I mean, the real jewel of the place is these incredible courses that we teach. So
That's
we
what I was gonna
teach,
ask. Like, is it structured?
that's it, exactly. It is. Yeah. So we have these beautiful silent meditation retreats where
Right.
you come, you rejuvenate, come and learn some meditation, practice meditation. We do yoga, we do kind of dance and movement, spaces for creativity and even drawing. We also we have an Ayurvedic spa. Do you know about Ayurveda?
Not really. Like everything I think I know about it is from movies, and it's always like
Right.
very like everyone has their bucket.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Ayurveda is a very ancient healing system. So Aru means life and Veda means science. So it's the
Okay,
science of life.
okay.
And it's incredible that our Vedic doctors, these they call them Vaidyas, they can just put their 3 fingers on your pulse
Yeah.
and and they can do a full body scan on you. Find out what what's going wrong, what's going right, what different kind of maybe herbs you can take, what kind of lifestyle modifications you can make to improve your lifestyle. And I was amazed, like they told me when they were doing that scan for the first time so many years ago, and like things like, oh yeah, and you can't go to sleep without your socks on. I mean, how did they know that? You know? But all of these things show up in the body and the tendencies of the body. I used to have the cold feet all the time. So
I still
I
currently
mean,
have the cold feet. My husband takes care of that, but
okay.
I don't know how they get so cold. I have no idea, but
Yeah. So that's it. Once we're able to create more balance within the system,
yeah.
then a lot of these different things, I used to have these chronic cluster headaches. Had them for
Okay.
years and several times a year. And now through practicing the Sudarshan Kriya, aligning my life with this Ayurveda and a few other modifications I made, I've been completely disappeared.
Okay.
So
I have a
it's
client that deals with that. I'm going to share this for sure.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And so this we have these different treatments like massages that you can take, different oil treatments as well, Shirodara where the oil goes over the forehead, the full body massage with either one technician or two technicians. Just a lot of different healing modalities with steam as well, like kind of a steam bath sort of a thing. And so that Institute of Health is there as well. And so then you start to put together this program with the breathing techniques, with the meditation, with your spa work, with your time out on the lake. You go for walks with your husband or your family.
Yeah.
And it becomes this incredibly resourceful time. You take whatever it is, you take 2 days or 3 or 4 days, or you
That was
want to
my
come
next
for a week.
question. What's the length of the, okay.
That's it. You can really decide. I mean, most courses are like 3 to 4 days,
Okay. That's
but
manageable, everyone.
yeah, that's it, exactly. And we also have family getaways. So a few times a year, like on March break, we have a family retreat. So we
Okay.
have families from all over Canada that come. The parents come and do their courses and have their spa work, and
Yeah.
the kids are doing awesome games and having tons of fun, either skating on the lake or, learning survival skills in the snow in the winter. It's incredible. They
Yeah.
have so much fun. They also learn the techniques too.
Yeah.
So it's really a nice time for the whole family. We're going to introduce a camp now this summer as well. And it's nice, to have something that the whole family can really enjoy together.
Absolutely. This is really cool. I can't believe how fast this has gone. So we have the website, guys. It is theartofliving.org. It will also be in the show notes. But I think I'm gonna take just the 3 minutes we have and just if you could give someone, so I know number one, go to the website, take a course. But if you know someone is really just at their wits' end, burning the candle at both ends, they're just like, I can't,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Are there two or three small things
Yeah.
that you think they could do that you know that you can share here? And then absolutely they should take the course. But just in everything you've learned, what are a few things that someone could kind of implement today?
Yeah. Well, if you want, we could do a breathing technique.
Sure.
Shall we do it?
We have 4 minutes. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's enough. We can do it.
Okay,
So
I'm
this
in.
this breathing technique, and I just wanted to say really quick for those interested in the retreat center, it's artoflivingcanadacenter.org
Okay.
is our retreat center, and I can send that to you too. Or people can just reach out to me on socials at Spencer Delisle, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's the same on each one.
Yeah.
So the breathing technique, it's called straw breath.
Okay.
And this technique is really great for anxiety.
Okay.
Or if your mind is racing so much and you feel like you're just out of sorts and off kilter. So, this one, what we're doing is we're breathing in through the nose, normal breath, and then we're breathing out through the lips, pursed lips, almost like you're breathing out through a straw. So, the out breath is much longer than the in breath. So, let's breathe in again through the nose. If you like, you can close the eyes or soften the gaze and breathe out through the pursed lips, like you're breathing out through a straw. Keep breathing out. When you need to breathe in through the nose, and out through the mouth, through the pursed lips. Let's do a couple more. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, through the pursed lips, like you're breathing out through a straw. One last time. Breathe in, out through the lips. And come back to normal breath. If you like, you can keep the eyes closed just for a moment and just observe any sensations in the body, the state of the mind. And we can breathe in. And as you breathe out, we can open the eyes.
Well, that was amazing. Oh my goodness. What is the, and we might go over by like a minute, but what is the point with the pursed lips versus a regular breath out?
Right. So it's interesting because, some physicians have postulated that actually the relaxation that smokers get is through blowing blowing out in this way. So nicotine, of course, is exciting the system. So people always wonder, well, how are they getting relaxed? They've linked it to this breathing. And this type of breathing, essentially, we're slowing down the breath with our lips through this small. So we're extending that long expiration in a long and drawn out way. Maybe you notice the in breath
Yes.
is much shorter, out breath is much longer.
Okay.
So what we're doing here with this long out breath and controlling the breath is we're activating the parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
So our autonomic nervous system has two parts, sympathetic, parasympathetic. Sympathetic is like activity and dynamism. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. So through activating that part of our nervous system through the breath, we can calm and settle the system, calm the mind. So instead of reacting, we can have a much more thoughtful response.
Yes. Okay. Well, that was fabulous, guys. I hope you did it along with us. If not, rewind it and do it because I feel fantastic right now. Spencer, thank you so much for sharing this time with us. This has been absolutely amazing. Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thank you, Crystal Lee. And I would just say that we just did about 3 or 4 times. We say at least 9 times to do it. So you
9
give
times.
yourself a fair shot. Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much for having me on.
This was awesome. Guys, please check out the artofliving.org and take a look at the Art of Living Canada Center because both of those sound amazing. And this has been great. Thank you so much, Spencer. Guys, bye everyone. It's Krystal Lee Lucier, also known as your Home Sweet Home 509 Realtor, Krystal Lee. This has been Realtor Life, and I'm so happy you guys were able to be here today. Bye.